Okay guys, I'm going to give you a little bit of a breakdown on the new Shakeology vanilla flavor. I hope that this is a lot shorter than all my other videos because I apologize, I'm a talker. But this one is on Shakeology and they presented it at Summit, and I also re-listened to the call from Darren O'Lean so that I could get all the facts because he did talk at Summit about it, but I was a little bit too excited and jumping around at the moment to get all the info right then. As a lot of you guys know, the vanilla flavor is years in the making. They had been investing pretty heavily in vanilla back in like 2010, and they ended up pulling the plug because they found out that the natural flavoring that they thought they had was not actually natural. And like at that point, Darren O'Lean and Carl Zeichler and Isabel Zeichler kind of did a lot more research and put a lot of money into investigating what is considered natural through the FDA. And what they found is that the FDA allows things that are not really all natural, that have like chemical enhancers in them, and as long as the chemical enhancers are small enough in minute enough quantities, then they pass the FDA standards for being all natural, and that wasn't good enough for Beachbody. So they spent more time. They had a team that was dedicated to trying to find an all-natural source of vanilla that actually had a strong enough flavor that you could taste it, because a lot of times vanilla flavor is so mild that even in natural forms that they were finding, the taste wasn't strong enough, so it didn't really taste like vanilla. Let's see. They tried hundreds of samples from all over the world. Darren said he traveled to Indonesia, to India. Pretty much he was on almost all of the continents. Well, I guess the continents in the southern hemisphere, to find a natural vanilla flavor, and like they just couldn't find one. They couldn't find partners that were very transparent. He was very big on the transparency of the farmers and the products that they produce. Basically, if the farmers or the companies aren't willing to disclose what's in their product or how natural it is, or their farming practices, or their extraction practices, then Beachbody just walked away, because the integrity of the product that Beachbody produces is of utmost importance. It's the most important thing. They want to have something that is quality, that is completely natural, that is safe and healthy, and they're not willing to compromise that to make a buck. So if you have customers who are wondering about that, that's why it took so long to find it. One of the points that Darren made that was really interesting, and that's something that you can say, I know I said this in several videos when people ask about, like, well, such and such company has vanilla, why did it take Beachbody so long? Or like, their vanilla costs this much, like, why does yours cost so much more? And you can always say, I don't know why the other company has this vanilla flavor or why theirs is this. All I know is that Beachbody spent so much time researching and developing the vanilla flavor, and what they found was that many companies' natural vanilla flavors are not natural, because the FDA allows minute amounts of chemical enhancers such as neurotoxins and carcinogens, which cause cancer, in the small minute levels that are deemed safe by the FDA. So natural doesn't always mean natural, and unfortunately a lot of companies that make other protein shakes and drinks don't have the resources available that Beachbody does. They don't have the network of scientists at their disposal. They may not have the amount of exposure that Beachbody does, because we're growing every day, and us just sharing our stories about Shakeology and drinking it and encouraging others to drink it, like, we give them a lot more support than we even realize we do. So they're able to do a lot more and investigate more and kind of spend the money, whereas other companies may not be able to do that. So there are many companies that think that they're actually getting an all-natural vanilla who don't know. And Darren said, like, he didn't know. Before they started doing this research, he had no idea that the FDA's bylaws allowed for certain amounts of, dangerous chemicals in natural flavors. And, it wasn't until they did all this extra research and spent a lot of money and time investigating that they found this out. So it's not necessarily that other companies, just want to make a buck and they're like a crook and they're terrible. It's that they don't necessarily know. They don't realize, because they haven't been able to afford to do the research that Beachbody has. But Beachbody is not willing to compromise on the flavor. They're not willing to compromise on their quality standards. And that's something that you can be proud of, because they're ensuring a sustainable, ethical farming source of this vanilla extract. And that's pretty cool. Let's see. let's see. One of the things that Darren was most proud of is that they're buying a premium organic vanilla source from Madagascar. They could have bought vanilla from Madagascar, not from this specific indigenous population of farmers, but they're spending more money and they're putting a bigger effort into this group because they have the best, most natural farming practices, and the money that we send over there to buy their vanilla is going in to fund the schools and the children and help them, and it's also funding their farming, techniques and their developing of their farming community, and it's allowing them to give back to the farmers so that they can keep their process natural and organic and keep their practice, as whole as possible, which is also pretty cool. And you can feel good about the fact that you're supporting, poorer farmers and their children and giving them access to education. And coaches. Jeff Hill was asking questions of Darren O'Lean. He asked him why coaches can be confident in recommending vanilla Shakeology, and Darren said it's because Beachbody doesn't cut corners when it comes to quality. What goes into Shakeology is completely natural. They've done their research. You can be proud of the product that they have. He also said that our culture has become ridiculously programmed to believe that this crappy, poorly over-processed food is good, and we all buy into it and we eat this stuff and it's terrible for us, but it tastes good, and here's an alternative. It comes in a pretty bag, but the stuff that's inside is actually a nutrient-dense power source for the body, and the body is literally craving it. Let's see. We all have such a positive response to Shakeology, and so we're always so positive and so pumped about it, and that, there's integrity behind what we have to say about it. So not only is it good for you, and we could give testimonials day in and day out about how delicious it is or how great it is, but there's an integrity behind the production. There's an integrity behind their lack of compromise on the quality and on what they're willing to accept for farming techniques. And so you can be very confident when you recommend it to your friends and family that it's good for them, because not only do you have a great experience, but Beachbody is unwilling to cut the corners. I guess they ended it with it's our daily dose of dense nutrition, and I always think that's so funny because dense nutrition is such a weird term. I don't know. When I think of dense nutrition, it makes me think of getting really constipated. But I love being able to say that this is a product that has integrity. So yes, you pay a little bit more for it, but you're supporting farmers, you're supporting their children, you're supporting organic agriculture, and you're getting a really good quality product that's going to help you out. And it tastes really good. It tastes like cake batter. I mean, it's delicious. It's nice to have that option. So if you have more questions about vanilla Shakeology, definitely hit me up. I've gotten to try it. I have some, and it's pretty good. I'm still a huge chocolate fan, but it's really nice to have the variety. All right, thanks, guys.